The Access Media is declaring that Zootopia 2 is going to clear $500 million, $500 million at the box office, not in its full run, but in its opening weekend. Is it true? Will it wipe out Wicked? We've got the news for you. We'll tell you whether it's time to celebrate at Disney. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from somewhere sunny USA. The studio is glistening because you're listening, and folks, we're happy that you've come our way. Got the radioactive hamsters working overtime. Don't know if they're going to go work at Zootopia or not. Don't know where they'd even fit in over there. Might cause all kinds of radiation issues for Judy and Nick. And, well, you know what? They're glowing plenty enough. It turns out that ticket sales look a lot like Inside Out 2. We'll tell you about it. Click the like button, and let's find out just how hot this might be and what it might do to Wicked indeed. It's unbelievable. Yeah, let that song play in your head from the 90s. From discussing film. I love this. Zootopia 2 is tracking to have a $500 million plus opening weekend. This includes a $200 million plus projected opening in China, the biggest opening for a Hollywood movie in the territory post-pandemic. All right, hang tight, folks. Just don't go crazy yet, okay? So there's an account out there, and I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to shame them. But they put this out there, and other outlets like Discussing Film are just posting it as if it's true. Now, the numbers that have to add up for this to happen are wild, okay? And yeah, pun intended. Is it possible that Zootopia 2 gets $200 million in China? Well, I guess, but wow, that would be a heck of a story if it happened. Is it possible that Zootopia 2 breaks $200 million at the domestic box office for the weekend? It would be the biggest animated film opening ever, and it would be in the top echelon of any movie ever released, maybe even if adjusted for inflation. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely? No. And then it would still need $100 million somewhere else, out of Europe, out of South America. It would still need another $100 million to make this. Now, I put this on the screen so that you can all be discerning in this. I'm not telling you it's going to not happen. I'm telling you that the projection, the idea that it's actually likely to happen, no. Could it happen? Sure. But everything would have to line up absolutely perfectly. And I hope they do it. The cinema owners need it. But that would be, if Zootopia does that, it's on its way to being the biggest movie of all time. And that would be a very strange time for us here on this channel to say, what is the biggest movie of all time? Is it Citizen Kane? Is it Godfather? Is it Gone with the Wind? No, it's Zootopia. That's a reality.
Importantly, Zootopia 2.
Zootopia 2.
It's a sequel.
I want it to do well. I want it to do well, folks. I'm not trying to slam it. Nancy Tartaglione has this one. What the China performance of Zootopia 2 and Avatar Fire and Ash could mean for Hollywood's future in the unpredictable mega market. Okay? They're very excited right now. They're very excited because Zootopia 2 is, the pre-sales in China are looking like back when China liked the United States to some degree and liked Hollywood to some degree. They don't like them anymore. But this, for whatever reason, is looking pretty darn good for China. It says a little under a year ago, I wrote, Nancy did, about discourse in the industry that the future of Hollywood's fortunes in China would become clearer once two of the most anticipated studio titles of late 2025 release, talking about Zootopia 2 and Avatar Fire and Ash. So they're using this as a barometer. Now, how much of that is why they're writing articles about it breaking $500 million? Are they trying to amp it up? I don't know, because the Chinese, they don't read the Western version of the internet. They're locked behind, a gatekeeping system. Let's go to Movie Web right now. Richard Fink has this. How much did Zootopia 2 cost, and how much does it need to make at the box office? There's going to be some stuff in here that's just flat out wrong, and we're not trying to be mean to Richard, but we got to cover this, and this is a great opportunity for us to set some records straight, okay? It says the exact budget for Zootopia 2 has yet to be revealed. However, we have a rough estimate with the film's budget. Yeah. You know how those budgets work at Disney, don't you? Reportedly increasing following the success of the first movie. Some industry trackers suggest the budget could fall in the 180 to 220 million range. And that probably is true. Did it cost 250? Probably true. Analysts estimate the sequel would need to gross in the ballpark of 500 million, depending on marketing and the cost, to reach break even. And this is where we get into just flat out silly wrong. Okay? Because let's add it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do the math together. You ready? It's super easy. If it cost 250 to make, and it probably did, okay? But we'll drop it down. We'll be nice. We'll drop 200, okay? I don't think it cost 200. I think it cost 250, but 200, fine. This is a huge movie for them. And they have advertised it everywhere. There is no way on God's green earth that this thing cost anything less than 200 million to market. So I'm not going to drop down that number. They have advertised this everywhere because they know it's a big movie. Now, what that means is the total cost, if we are as fair and as kind as we possibly can be, is $400 million. That's as fair as we can be. Do I believe that it's actually $400 million in total cost? No, I believe it's north of that. But we'll stay there, $400 million. Generosity, thy name is pro. At $400 million, what does Disney need to break even? Well, they get 50% back from the sales of this thing, right? So the cinemas get their cut. Uncle Sam gets more. In the internationals, they actually get less of a percentage back, but, whatever. If you want to be very strict about it, folks, I know they get a little bit more than 50% back in the U.S. They get a little less international. It rounds out to 50%. 50%. So what do they need? $800 million. That's what they would need. Okay. Are they going to get $800 million off this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. At this point, the people I'm talking to inside cinemas say, this is going to be big. Might be bigger than Lilo and Stitch big. And here's the thing we need to talk about, guys. They're saying the latest report suggests $1 billion total isn't out of the question. I think $1 billion is almost given, unless it's woke. Do I understand exactly why Zootopia 2 is so popular, Zootopia 1? I mean, I can get it to some degree, but, this is very, very hot right now at the box office. We're going to find out within hours, honestly, of how this is going to do. But if it does what the industry is expecting it could do, and the industry right now, I've been hesitant to say the number because I don't want somebody to clip me later and say, out of context, Pro said this, he lies when I'm reporting somebody else's numbers. We're hearing that the number could be something like $1.5 billion. Now, if it does that kind of a number, I don't know how Wicked can possibly hold on without having a huge drop, because there are a lot of women out there who want to take their kids to go see a movie for Thanksgiving. And some of those women have, teenage daughters. And if the choice is between Wicked and Zootopia, a decision has to be made. And then Wicked, you could say, would rebound for the holidays. It would rebound for the holidays because musicals often do that. Like for Hanukkah and Christmas, you'd see a big boost. For New Year's. Okay, go back and see Wicked now, right? The problem there is it goes up against Avatar. So, guys, I'm getting kind of worried about Wicked right now. Not really terribly worried, because I don't really care that much about Wicked. And I'm not looking forward to more Wicked, frankly, because this one was quite the drop-off. But I think that Zootopia 2 could be so popular. If it's not woke, I also think it's time for a victory lap. Because I think that we, as an audience and as a market, have thoroughly convinced Disney that Lauren is looking skeptical of me. I'm going to have to go to Lauren. I think that if Zootopia 2 is not woke, and if it absolutely makes bank at the box office, I think we need to take a victory lap, because we have utterly convinced Disney they cannot do what they wanted to do, which was the Light Years, the Strange Worlds, etc. And I think that if it wipes out Wicked, all the more proof of it. Lauren, you don't believe me. Tell me why.
Well, I feel like I'm completely out of touch on this movie, because everybody's talking about how much money they think it's going to make. I didn't particularly like the first one. And so I guess to me, I'm looking at it as it was okay, the first one. It's been 10 years. Who's going to see this thing? And apparently I'm in the minority on that. But the other thing that I would say is, if it's not woke, they've already talked about it having timely social commentary, and I felt like the first one was also woke. So to me, the entire prospect of this feels like no, I don't think it's going to get anywhere near that. But everybody is apparently really hyping the box office on this, so I guess it depends. Do we have any idea what the pre-sales are doing on it?
I'm hearing that it's comparable to Inside Out 2. Now, here's the thing about it, okay? If it is woke, and there's no way that I can know whether it's woke or not until it comes out. I've got to go review the thing. We're going to review the thing, okay? We're going to do that. I can't tell you if it's woke or not until I get a chance to see it and give my opinion. The first week will not be affected by that. The first week is going to perform according to the anticipation of the film and what people liked about the first film, and that's going to be it. The second week, if it's woke, that would be extraordinarily damaging to Disney because people will go home and say, oh no, it's another Strange World, Lightyear, Elio, Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Like that's what you're going to get into. And Disney does not want that. I mean, that would be a huge difference and a huge delta in the performance of this film. You could, if it's woke, you could easily see a 70% drop off. But I think there's so much at stake here that maybe they haven't done that. Ron, what are you hearing about the film? Are you getting anything on this one?
Just about the social commentary. I really, the most interesting facet about this to me is the crowd that goes see Wicked versus the crowd that goes to Zootopia. For the most part, I think families are going to want to head to Zootopia over Wicked, because Wicked it's that theater crowd, right? That's who's really supporting it, and it has a lot more to do with the musical aspect than it does just even the Oz aspect of it. It's a different kind of a movie. Like for me during this holiday season, I actually still want to see the first Wizard of Oz, like the 1938 version of the Wizard of Oz. The classic is everything, and Judy Garland singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, still to me better than Defying Gravity, but that's just my opinion. And Zootopia, I think my kid wants to see it because he saw the first Zootopia, and it's a fun one-time through movie, but it's not necessarily a repetitive movie. The biggest thing that a lot of people have to realize at the box office, in order for any of these movies to break $1 billion, it has to have repeat viewership. People want to go, need to
That's
go
exactly
over and over.
right, Ron. That's exactly right. Okay, let me bounce this with you, okay? This is why if Zootopia 2 is not woke, it wipes out Wicked. Okay? The reason is Zootopia 2 at that point is infinitely rewatchable. So you're going to get families that go to see it, and there's nothing else to compete with it. And there's not going to be for months. It is the family thing to go watch. Okay? Because you're not going to take your 7-year-old to go see Avatar. That's a bladder buster. Good luck with that. Okay? So you go to Zootopia 2, you go to Thanksgiving, you go to it again for Christmas, you go again in January because you're bored, you need something to do. Go to it on a Tuesday or whenever the discount is, go see the matinee, whatever. Okay? Zootopia 2, if it's friendly and fun and whatever and not woke, that's the big deal, not woke, then it's rewatchability is going to be super high. But Ron, we already know that Wicked 2, Wicked for Good, it's the big hurdle for it is it has one good song, and it's a very heavy, dark film. It's not like the first.
Yeah.
It's a very heavy film with lots of negativity and darkness and all of that. And that does not do well in terms of people wanting to go back over and over again. It's a hard film to get through.
But my question about Zootopia is, and I think we may have discussed this earlier, but Disney Plus just went on sale for $4.99.
What an angle. Go ahead. I had not thought of this.
So, I mean, if I'm looking at my Christmas budget and I'm a family, and it just depends. Some families, plenty of money, no problem. But if I'm tight, yeah, maybe I can squeeze in the discount Tuesday for Zootopia and take the kids one time. Or and then hey, don't worry, kids, we'll get to see it on Disney Plus in a couple of months. I just signed up. We're good. It's that kind of a discussion. Or it could even be, hey, do you want the Nintendo Switch 2, or do you want to go see Zootopia, or wait? You can get both if you just wait to see Zootopia on Disney Plus. I mean, there's a lot of discussions that are going to be like that, depending on certain budgets and certain households, but it exists out there. And then when you multiply that out, what effect does that have on the box office overall?
Yeah, and here's the problem for Wicked for Good, and this is why you got to worry about what it's going to do at the box office. So the first film, and this is what a lot of the folks out there are basing the projections for this second film on. The first film landed a week before Thanksgiving last year. And honestly, they should have released this one another week prior. Having it be out this close to Zootopia is just foolishness in a year when they're so desperate for hits. Wicked, the original release, had made $112 million in its opening weekend. Then it actually improved and made $118 million its second weekend. Okay? I don't see any way for this sequel to do that because of Zootopia. And so it's going to have a drop as opposed to a gain. It's very rare that a movie has a gain, but it's going to have a drop. And I think that means that it's, its goal right now is to get to the 700 million mark. That justifies it. Zootopia, I think now the expectations, this is what's interesting, right? The anticipation is that it's going to make more than $1 billion easily. Is 900 million now a disappointment for Disney if it doesn't? Because it's all about anticipation. It's all about expectations and what they've been set at. And the expectations are now astronomically high. Again, folks, I want to just remind you, what are they saying about it? Let's go to it. You ready? I mean, this is just $500 million. Could it happen? Sure it can. Will it be the biggest movie you've ever seen? Yes. Will we cover it day after day because it will be the movie of a generation? You betcha. If it makes $500 million in its opening weekend, we're the Judy Hopps channel for a month. I mean, that's where it's going to be at.
I've been looking around because I really never saw the first one, knew nothing about the controversy. Apparently, the plot of the second one revolves around the theory that the mammals are out to, quote unquote, erase the history of reptiles and commit genocide on reptiles.
Now, are the reptiles, are they the indigenous? Are they the indigenous peoples of the land?
I don't know, or if they're the indigenous peoples, or they're the other, or what the hell they are. But apparently, a lot of people say that's what the plot is. They say the trailer implies that mammals in Zootopia are attempting to erase the history of the reptiles. So, fasten your seatbelts if that's
make them go the way of the dinosaurs. Well, folks,
and on the other hand, some people complained apparently about the first one that it was, quote, propaganda because the protagonists are police officers,
right?
And therefore, it was promoting the police state.
Well,
so you can't win for losing.
The first one came out before the defund movement, right? So that's fun. Right. That's fun. All right, so let's turn to Andy. Andy, what do you think is going to happen with the box office? Can both of these films? Can we get a Barbenheimer, or do these eat into each other?
I think they eat into each other. I think that you're going to have families that are looking for something to take their kids to get them entertained. And if this is harmless, if this doesn't have any of the offensive content to it, it'll do really well because, being trapped in the house with a bunch of kids over a long holiday weekend can be pretty rough. So there's going to be a lot of parents out there that are willing to, fork over the considerable amount of cash. I'm wondering, will this movie make most of its box office in matinee times where it's going to be a little bit cheaper if you're bringing, say, a family of 3 or 4. But I think this will do well. Whether or not it hits those numbers, there's no way this is going to be the greatest opening of any animated movie of all time.
So I'm going to give you here's my reason that I think it won't be woke. And then we're going to see if I'm right on this, okay? China. They need China money. They need Chi-Com money like you can't believe. And they need China to be a territory that still pays money and is a viable place for them to go. Lauren, you disagree with me. I can't wait to hear what you think about this. They'll do whatever it takes to placate the Chinese. And the Chinese government, the CCP, they hate woke. Lauren?
But if the reptiles are the Uyghurs,
Gosh.
maybe they don't.
Back to Mulan again, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Lauren, your thoughts. You clearly disagree with that assessment, and I am very intrigued. What do you think?
I think that chasing after China has proven over and over again to be a fool's errand, and at some point you have got to stop bleeding money. Stop relying on your enemies to be the source of your income. Just stop it.
Listen, Bob Iger makes who's our
Is he the ambassador to China?
Bob Iger makes
Does
John
he have a
Cena
viable
look at red
platform to
blood
become president now? Did any of his gambles work out?
He'd love
Well,
for them to.
if this is big, the gamble to spend the money, whoever spent it, on the trackless extravaganza in China versus this stupid movie thing in America pays off, doesn't it?